Chat, have you played The Day Before? Game of the year, I've been told. Apparently they released what is like the black text on the white background thing that every AAA company is doing it right now, which is, oh, the game is broken. We're sorry. We took your money. We're sorry. We're not giving it back. We're sorry. No, the studio is collapsing. Yes. To be honest, it looks like a scam, and I will justify why it is a scam because there's some people that are claiming no, it's not a scam. V. It's just like the studio didn't know. They didn't know. Why don't you listen to their PR? So let me show you what the day before was, because they released a trailer actually recently. Um, 8 hours ago. Holy shit. Uh, the day before. Why is it YouTube showing me the trailer? The day before trailer. Come on. YouTube. Why is your search engine like this? Here we go. Right. So this is a trailer that I found out from them, which was 2 years ago. Like, this was in the making for quite a while. And as you're going to see, the game is supposed to look pretty good. Right? I mean, it looks like an official AAA title. And it was supposed to be an MMO first-person shooter. And it looks gorgeous. That I gotta tell you, as a game developer, making a game look AAA isn't that hard anymore. You got the asset packs now. Like, you have, like, bundles and stuff. And as long as you have a skilled map maker and someone that can do it, you can make a game look like this with maybe a team of 10 people. Like, the reason AAA is bloated as it is, it's mostly due to middle management. They have around 10 to 20 people supervising a single guy that's coding. I'm not even kidding. Like this is what happens in the AAA industry. So the reality is, like, an indie company can do all of this shit. The problem is that you need to have the online code and the optimization. Like, you need to find an engine. Chances are you need to build something in-house, which is optimized for people's computers so that it can run your game. And the second thing is that you need to deal with the multiplayer. Like, the multiplayer is actually the more difficult thing, especially if you're going to have, like, hundreds of thousands of players. Like, you need a lot of servers, you need to spend a lot of money on that. But the reality is, like, I was shocked. I was taken aback just how easy it is to make a game look like this. Especially to just have, like, a trailer or a presentation. Because, like, this is in-game footage, so they already did it. But the problem is that the in-game footage doesn't actually show how the end game looked like. I mean, the in-game footage is trying to portray that you can go around with a car and you're going to see the world, and, you know, it looks like a place that has been devastated by the apocalypse. And it turns out that the actual game looks shit, right? So they ended up releasing the game, and then after 3 days, they shut down the company, and they're saying they're not going to provide any more support. So the game is basically a scam. Like, you pay money and you're not able to play it. I kind of miss scams like this, to be honest. I know it sounds weird, but like, when, like, at least I understand how it's like. It's like, okay, they want to steal money from people. Like, there's no ideology involved. There's no, you know, like, they actually had the capabilities of making something great, but instead they had, like, people in middle management that sabotage the company from within. Like, we don't have any of that. No, it seems to be just some, like, money grabbing type of thing. Yeah, just use Unreal Engine 5 and it will look like this. Again, like, in 2023, it is shocking. It is surprising just how easy it is to make a video game that looks good. Like, even an indie company, I think, like, there's two reasons why they don't exist. Like, first of all, many people aren't aware of what game development is like, because you don't need to know coding. Like, that's the thing. All you need to do is, like, do an investment, like an actual business, right? So if you have, like, $30,000, you can make a pretty okay indie game, and you don't need to make it yourself. You hire people that can. But the problem is, like, you need to know people that will do it, right? So you need to have connections, you need to know artists, you need to know developers, and it's kind of hard to work online with people that you don't know. So you need to have friends. Horrible. But it's a lot easier to do a video game now than it has ever been. How long before you can prompt the AI to make a game? I don't know. I mean, first of all, like, you would need the AI to have the memory required in order to store hundreds of gigabytes worth of data. So we're not even close. And then the main problem with the AI is the like trying to customize it to do something that you want with like maximum accuracy, right? So like if you want a woman to hold a glass and then you want to animate how she drinks the water, like you would need to make sure that everything looks polished and well for the animation to work. We're definitely not there. Like, no, I don't think that you can get an AI to prompt it to make a video game anytime soon. I mean, yeah, no, like making an AI to do a simple game like Snake or Tetris. I mean, that's probably possible, right? Like, you can probably get an AI to do that. But if you want an AI to do something complex like a AAA game, I mean, we're miles away from that. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. You can make ChatGPT spit out code. You can, with enough time, make it spit enough code. Yeah, but like at that point, you may just code yourself. Even if the ChatGPT is spitting out code, the work of the person doing the prompts and the stitching together is still going to be a full-time job. It's kind of like trying to write with ChatGPT. Like, it's not impossible, it's doable, but the quality is mediocre, and you're going to have to like do prompts after prompts after prompts to the point where it's just easier to write the stuff yourself. Coded animation right now are the biggest raw time eaters. There's still not enough shortcuts to make it easy. Yeah, it's true. Like, animation is the I can attest to that. Animation takes like 1 month or half a month for just one still frame. It's horrible. What if the AI designs a new AI that can write the game? Doesn't work like that. Anyway, my point is, this company decided to go under, and a lot of people are saying, oh my god, you're bullying the company. Like, look, they just had the best intentions. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like, when you're in a company, you know your financial losses, and chances are, you know, you can overinvest. So you can decide that you're going to be in debt, but you know this before releasing the game. Like, there is no fucking way that 3 days ago they didn't know that they're not going to be able to provide support for the video game. So you know, even if they would have provided support for like 1 year, people would have been okay with it. I mean, they would still be upset, but like they would understand. It's like, well, no one is playing it, whatever. But the fact that they released a game that wasn't as advertised, and the fact that they pulled the plug, shows that it was a scam. Like they knew that people will buy it, and then they won't be able to play it. So no, it just doesn't work like that. There's, I don't know, like, are they shills? Like, is the company paying people to defend them? In this case, I don't think they are. But like, people just don't understand how businesses work. Like, they legitimately think it's like just one guy that released a game. You know, he woke up, released a game, and then realized, oh shit, I can't provide support for this, and then they shut it down. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how companies work. Anyway, Cyberpunk 2077 was actually programmed by an AI. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me given how shit it was at launch. I find it unlikely, but not surprising. So, I wanted to show you guys something interesting. You know, apparently, if you go on Twitter and you complain about Miles Morales, there's going to be an army of people that is going to accuse you of racismus. Like, many individuals will come out of the woodwork and they will say, oh my god, if you don't like Miles Morales, it's because you're a racist. Oh, a racist. How dare you not like a comic book? Only racists do not like comic books, boy. You're supposed to love comic books. From the cradle to the grave, you're supposed to worship Marvel. To prove that you're not a racist, give them cash. And I'm thinking, like, is there anything more racist than this image? Which is an official Miles Morales comic, right? They did it with the, like, when they realized that Miles Morales isn't selling, they tried everything they could in order to throw something at him that hopefully will stick. So they tried to make him like all these other superheroes in these alternate dimensions. Like they tried to make him Thor. They tried to make him Iron Man. Like they just. But like nothing is more racist than this. So like, okay, what are the shoes that are hanging from the line? Like unironically, I'm curious. Like, is it an American thing? Because I've never seen this shit in Europe. Like shoes just hanging from a line. Okay, look at how many stereotypes you got. You got him rapping. Like that's one stereotype. Saying that Asgard is his hood. What the fuck? You got like the sneakers on, right? Which doesn't even match with the rest of the outfit. And what the fuck is this? Like, this is the thing that really bewildered me, and I was like wondering, is it AI art? Because I genuinely think like this may be AI art. Like you have this guy in what appears to be like half a car, and it's being pulled by a goat. This is an official Marvel comic, okay? Like, this is not fan art. I wonder if it probably is AI art. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell at this point, because maybe this actually was released before AI became a thing. But like, again, the thing with the car really bothers me. I genuinely like don't get it. Like why is there a car being pulled by a goat? Everyone in the picture is black. Like, if you were to do this with white characters, they would call it Nazism. Right, like when they portrayed Asgard in the movies, they had to have like one black character there. They had the what was it? The one that opens the Bifrost, right? Like Heimdall. Like Heimdall was black because like you can't have a movie with only white people unless you do the opposite, which is pretty much like what you're seeing in the comic here. So you have the rap, you have the sneakers, the shoes. You have him talking about being in the hood. You got like the goat being pulling a car. And again, like, this is Marvel. This is them being anti-racist. And of course, like, the graffiti everywhere. And it doesn't even make fucking sense. Like, how do you get the graffiti all the way up here? Right? Like you have, like, Sarah and Piguel. How did that? No, I want you to imagine, right? Because these are the same people that nitpick the costume of a female character. Like a Supergirl, they would be like, oh, why does she have the boob window? Like, don't birds fly into her tits? Like, this is the level of nitpicking that they have. Like, they try to make it realistic. They try to shove down the realism down their throats. And you're thinking, like, okay, how the fuck did anyone make this graffiti? Like they had to come up at the window at what appears to be the third floor. And do these, like write this name over here. Like sitting like this. So fucking bizarre. I'm not even going to go like how they made the graffiti on the fucking window here. This is an official Marvel comic, okay? Like, this is why I'm upset. Like, this is what the professionals are doing. This is what the people that are specialized in doing this for a living are pulling out. Like, I have seen Tumblr art that is better than this. Less racist as well. Like, imagine if they did it with white people and it's like, oh, so I'm Thor, I'm the chief of Asgard, so because I'm white, I'm going to talk about the trailers. Like Asgard is my trailer. Or if it was about rednecks and they were like, oh, the hills are my hood. It's just... So I refuse to be lectured about racism from these people, is my point. Ardqua, thank you for the 10 Australians. Wanted to thank you for recommending The Hero is Overpowered and Combatants Will Be Displaced. Really great anime. I completely recommend it for everyone. Much enjoyed. Check out the anime Undead Unlock. Same vibe as those two, but newer and better in my opinion. I'll probably try to make some time to check it out. I mean, Christmas is coming. God damn it. Maybe I deserve a little break. Graffiti at the top floor. Yes. Yes, they probably have like superheroes that fly over there, and in their free time they just spray graffiti. They do a little bit of acts of vandalism, because it's Marvel, so they don't respect private property. The only time that people at Marvel respect private property, unironically, is when someone pirates their comic books. Like, this was actually a big thing back in 2018, I believe. So you have like all these people at Marvel that are advocating for like far left ideology, right? Like no borders, abolition of private property, like full on communism. Like they literally had communists working at Marvel. And the moment they switched from communism to anarcho-capitalism, it was like that. It's just a snap of your finger. The moment they find out that people pirate their comics, and that's when they freaked out. It's like, no, 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 that's not how it works, right? Like, we don't want you to have private property, but we want to be able to sell our comic books and make money. I mean, to me, it was astonishing and jaw-dropping to just find out that people are pirating the comic. Like, even if you were to give it to me for free, I wouldn't want it. Like, you would literally have to pay money so that I read Marvel comics. But then I find out, no, there's actual people that what? Why, though? Like, why? What type of individual does that to themselves? Like, it's like stop hitting yourself, you know? Hello, Tomcat. Welcome to the show. McDonald's is your Valhalla? I see. Yeah, I think like the only thing that they forgot to add to this picture, hold on, because there's like something that I need to show you. If I can find, here we go. It's difficult to believe that this is an actual commercial, so sometimes I just need to show people the picture. Because if I don't show people the picture, they will think that I'm full of shit. The only thing missing in this picture has to be a KFC. Oh, never mind. No, fuck. They have it. They have it. Oh, look. This guy is selling chicken. Like, when you zoom in, it looks like a chicken leg. Ah, shit. Okay, my bad. Right? Because I was like, well, if we're going to go, like, full-on stereotypes, like, you forgot a couple. And then I realized, oh no, they have this. Like, this guy is selling chicken. Okay. I just want to say that it's the same vibe as this. This is an actual commercial, chat. Like, this actually was posted in 2020 during the BLM protests. Right? You got like the you got the KFC, and the KFC is casting the shadow of the Black Fist. I mean, how tone deaf can you be as a company? Just like, I know you're respecting your target audience, right? Like, your targeted demographic, but still. Popeye's chicken, yeah. I don't think they can use that because of intellectual property. Like, you can get sued if you do, but is watermelon a thing? Like, I keep hearing people on the internet say it, but Let me see that. Am I going to find the watermelon if I look at this picture? I don't think so. No, they actually, yeah. It's like one stereotype that they did miss. But other than that, it seems to encompass like literally every single stereotype that you can possibly imagine. And these are the same people that will call you racist. How did it get to this point is what I wonder. What time is it in Romania? I don't know about Pansu. Where are you from and what time is it there? I actually do like enjoy like starting with the live stream. Like I will start my day with the live stream so then it's done and then I can focus on the game, which is great. I have the rest of the day off. Because otherwise it's always on the back of my mind. It's like, hey, you didn't do the live stream. You must do the live stream. You do the live stream. All right, so look at this. This is beautiful. There is that time of year where actors need to share to the rest of the world how social justice they are. And you know, if people did this back in 2016, when all of this shit started, there would have been a much better backlash against it. So you have like this guy, isn't it time for women to run the planet? Men are not doing so good as leaders. Right? Basically, like, he's speaking the speech. Like, he knows what he needs to say. He learned his lesson from the academia. He's going to say the non-controversial shit, and everyone is going to give the standing ovation. And he's going to feel as if he actually accomplished something in his life. It's kind of like, you know, going there and it's saying something like in the medieval time, you know, God bless, because without God we're nothing. And we need God in our lives, and God is good, and God is just, and we need to dedicate more time for prayer. And everyone's like, oh, such enlightenment things you said. I have never heard these before. Oh, how can you be so wise? Oh, my patriarch, tell me more. Oh, you know, it's kind of like that. But it's a culture that they created for themselves. Like, if you say this shit in a pub, people are going to look at you and they're going to say, "Shut the fuck up," you know. But if you say it in Hollywood, everyone is like, "Oh, that's so good, oh," you know. Isn't it like that? But the thing is, like, people are saying, it's like, first of all, what is a woman? Because I'm a little bit confused. You know, the definitions are changing so fast. Like, since the Democrats are in office, they're working hard and tinkering with the definitions, and they're very concerned with how I think. So I'm really struggling to know, like, it's 2023. What is a woman? Like, how do we define it? What is it? What is it? Right? So unless you can define it, I've been told it's how you identify as. It's like, why don't you identify as a woman then and problem solve? But moving past that, you know, because again, like, defining words, oh my fucking god, asking too much. I mean, he's an actor, he doesn't know. People are pointing out, it's like, okay, so are these the people that you want to be running plan? Because they already are. Like, you already have, like, it's 2023. Like, I know that these people have been stuck in a temporal time loop. It's like Groundhog Day. Like, they wake themselves and it's 1942 over and over again. But the rest of us are actually moving in time. And we know that, like, you do have women in positions of power. This one is my favorite, though. Like, this one is the most ushikushi picture that you can see. Because these women have been summoned by the U.S. Congress, I think, in order to answer why is there segregation on their campus. And of course, like, they're very lefty women. I mean, they're friends, probably, if Stalin was alive, they would be friends with him. They would be shaking hands with Hitler from the other side of the horseshoe. That's how left-leaning they are. Incredibly open-minded, incredibly diverse, empathetic. Just that they have, like, segregation on their campus. And they also have, like, a huge case of anti-Semitism on their campus. And they haven't answered satisfactorily to any of those questions. But I guess, like, these are the leaders that this individual Will Ferrell wants, right? Like, this is the world that Will Ferrell has envisioned for the rest of us. I mean, personally, I don't care, you know, it is what it is. I'm not making the rules, you know, I'm just playing by the meta. But I just notice. I notice, and I know this is awful when you do it. It's like noticing things on the internet is a huge danger for their democracies. Margaret Thatcher got no complaints. Yeah, pretty much. No, but, like, if you think about it, the idea of... So first of all, this is a Marxist concept, which is the idea that Earth is not doing very well. It's like, shut the fuck up, okay? If I had the time machine, and I could say, which time in the past would you like to go? None of them want to go. None of them want to fucking go, because now is the best time ever. We live in the Great Peace, right? Like, no, seriously, just imagine how it would have been to live in World War II or World War I, or to live in the colonial America. Like, no one, not one place in human history has there been better than it is today. You can't name it. Like, the technological advances alone. I mean, sure, you know, like, if you happen to live today in a bad place, like you're in Russia and you're being drafted to fight in Ukraine, okay, no, I agree. Like, there are certain downsides, right? But the idea of, like, being alive today in the United States, fuck off. There's no such thing that's better than that. I can name one, the Wild West. What do you mean, like, the place where if you get tuberculosis, you die? I mean, dude, like, you can have Indians coming over your little town and scalp you. You know, scalping is not pleasant. No, like, the Wild West is horrible. Like, it's a very violent place. I mean, it depends, you know, like, you can be in a rural village where everything is functioning as it's supposed to, but... I mean, the very idea that you live in fear, because at any point, like, some Indian tribe can descend upon your town and murder everyone. It's like, is that what you want to do? Just so you know how bad it was, like, people were forced to go there with transportation. It's like criminals from Europe were forced to go to the New World under penalty of death, like, if they ever return. Yeah. Indians don't have rifle, depending on the time period. But even then, like, if they come during the cover of night, and there's a lot of them, yeah, they don't have rifles, but like, you do not have, like, modern rifles either, and they do have bow and arrows. And they are effective, I mean... Right, no, I would definitely not prefer to live in any other timeline than this. There were no VTubers in the Wild West. That's a good point, Midwest Finance. There were no VTubers in the Wild West. Are you thinking of Australia? No, it was both the United States in the beginning and Australia. Like, Australia was definitely a prison colony. But the United States as well, like indentured servitude and other things, like they existed. Pretty sure most people were armed at the time. Yeah, well, actually, this is why Britain managed to colonize the US and Spain didn't. The idea of Spain, it was like, no, you're not going to have a weapon. Like, you're going to go to this new world. We're not going to arm you. But if Indians are coming, then the army will protect you. And the problem was that the Indians were coming, and by the time the army would arrive, everyone was dead. Meanwhile, with the British Empire, and again, like, this is a way that worked to colonize the US, but it also backfired against the Brits. It was like, okay, well, we're going to give you this plot of land in the New World, and you're going to have a gun, and if you protect it, it's yours. So a lot of people did protect it, right? Like, the Indians would come, they had already been armed, like, they didn't need the army, like, they were armed themselves. The problem is that they turned their guns against the British Empire, so... Pretty sure the Spanish won? No, they didn't. The United States is colonized by the British Empire, not by the Spanish Empire, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? My history is a little bit shaky at 5 a.m. in the morning, so... Anyway, I wanted to talk about this, right? Which is the article that got put up by the World Economic Forum. It's a very popular article. And of course, like, they took it down out of shame, right? Like, it's interesting. Every single thing that the World Economic Forum puts up eventually gets taken down out of shame. Like, they are some of the most unpopular people on the face of the planet, and yet, so many world leaders go there. How does that happen, right? Like, you would think, like, something that is so unpopular would not have anything to say in how nations get to be run. Elon Musk calls them the extinctionists. I love this saying. Yes, the extinctionists. They genuinely, like, if you look at environmentalism to the extremes, they actually discourage people from having kids. And you have to wonder, it's like, okay, who are we protecting the planet for then? Like, think about it. If you're going to say the environment is important because without the planet, we're all dead, right? Well, the reality is false. It's like, not we're all dead. Like, first of all, there is the possibility of human beings to evolve in order to adapt to the harsh environments. But even then, animals will still live, right? Like, animals are very good at adapting. So if you destroy the environment, you're basically destroying human civilization, but you're not destroying the planet, right? Like, this is an exaggeration. But okay, let's assume this is the case, right? Like, we need to change our lifestyle so that we don't destroy the planet, because if we do destroy the planet, then everyone dies. But then they also say, like, children are detrimental for the planet. So you need to stop having kids. And this makes me wonder, it's like, okay, but like, if you don't have kids, then what's the point in preserving the planet? Like, if the planet is going to end up dead and it kills humans, like what's the point then in just not having kids? Is like... And also, like, the thing when you're looking at it, the planet is not super populated by humans. Like there are concentrations of humans, like in big cities, New York, London, you know, you have like places where humans are the hive people, if you will. But other than that, like, humanity is populating the planet quite sparsely. Like, you have a village here and there, you have a town, but they're not like millions of people living in the same place. So the idea that like the Earth is overpopulated is ridiculous. Humans already evolved the ability to survive northern winters and tropical heat. Yeah, pretty much. Did anyone else notice that V is full-on retarded? I am full-on retarded. Like, can you imagine if I was in a suit and I was being serious? Jesus fucking Christ, I could be like CNN. Who would watch me then? So anyway, welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say our city. Again, the abolition of private property is what is being displayed here. Also with a little bit of dash of fascism. It's like, it's not me, it's not I, it's we, it's us, the Brotherhood. I also love the title, right? Like, welcome to 23. I own nothing. 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. The fact that you have this title when no one has actually been in 2030, like, it shows you how they want you to think, right? Because, like, no person actually said that. It's basically like how they want you to feel about it. Because if you tell a person, like, you will own nothing, it's like, well, holy shit, did I get mugged? Like, I own a lot of things now, but, like, if you're saying I will own nothing, it means that someone will steal stuff from me, right? Like, people aren't very happy. So they have to add, it's like, yeah, you're going to be mugged and you're going to be happy, pretty much. I don't own a car, I don't own a house, I don't own any appliances or any clothes. I gotta say, like, even the most deranged communists on Twitter, even they will say, well, actually, there's a distinction between private and personal property. They will say that, well, the clothes on your back are yours, right? Like, the car you used to drive is yours. But I keep saying, no, like, communism, when applied, doesn't make that distinction. Like when the government has the ability to take away your shit, they're not going to stop. Like, they will take everything. It's kind of like telling the government just the tip. There's never just the tip. No, like, they're going to go full in. Going to go all the way down. No, seriously, like, you go on Twitter and you have, like, all these young people that are, like, communist ideologues, and they think they know better than people who actually lived under communism. And they will say, like, all of this bizarre shit. It's like, well, yeah, but, like, the communist ideology doesn't mean that they're going to take away your house. Doesn't mean that they're going to take away your car, because that's, like, your personal property. We just want to take away your business. And I keep telling them, like, no, that's not how it works. Like, if you give the government the power to take your business, they will take away your clothes and your car and your house. And here you have, like, literally the people that are trying to operate the taking away shit, that they're actually saying, like, yeah, you're not going to own a car, you're not going to own a house, you're not going to own even clothes. It's like a prison. Yes, like, literally, when you're in a prison system, you don't own the prison, you don't own any cars, you don't own even the cell that you're in. You're renting the cell, theoretically. It's not even that. Like, what is the relationship? Like, when you're in a prison, right? And you have, like, your little cell. Like, you get to stay there. But theoretically, like, they can move you into another cell if they want to. I'm pretty sure, like, in a prison, if they let you play PlayStation games, and they let you have access to online, some people may even like it and may be happy. No, think about it, right? Like, imagine this, right? Like, you're in a prison, but it's not really like a prison as for criminals. It's just a place where you can't leave. And you have internet access. You can do everything you want online. You have, like, a PlayStation and a VR. I guarantee to you there's going to be people who are going to be happy with that lifestyle. Not a lot of them, but many of them are going to look at that and they're going to say, yeah, no, this is actually good. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to wake up every morning. Everything is provided for me. I get free healthcare. Like, I guarantee to you there will be people who look at this prison life and they will say, yeah, this is great. This is how people should live. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in the city. Again, like, I love the way the article is made. It's like the level of gaslighting. Like, obviously, this is not an actual person because it talks about the future. Everything you consider the product has now become a service. So I just want you to understand the horror of what is being displayed here, right? So you don't own your washing machine, someone else owns it, and you get to use it as a service, right? I even heard, like, this lady which was talking recently, and she was saying, it's like, do you really need to own your phone? It's like, no, you don't need to own your phone because you want the function of the phone. It doesn't matter if the company owns your phone or if you have it leased. Like, at the end of the day, you just want the function of the phone. And the reality that's scary is, like, okay, if you don't own it, it means you have to make monthly payments for it. So if you didn't manage to make one monthly payment, they can take away your washing machine, they can take away your refrigerator, right? Like, this is what it means to have it on subscription, and this is like just scratching the surface. It also means that if you get it from a company, you have to abide by the company's terms of service. Now, when it comes to legislation, like, sometimes you can actually influence legislation. I mean, there have been cases where people have managed to influence the laws in their country. But if you're looking at it from a point of like a TOS, it's like, oh, you're on Amazon and you have to follow Amazon's TOS. You have no influence in what TOS Amazon puts there. They can make it say that you're not allowed to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop. And if you did, your washing machine gets canceled. It's even a worse version than buying on credit, yes. Like, at least when you buy on credit, it's yours, right? Like, if you buy on credit and the bank doesn't like you anymore, they can't take away your washing machine because of that. I mean, they can make it so you can't take future credit. But this is absolutely horrible. Yeah, like, imagine if it's something that you're renting, you can't even repair it. So like, if I have a PlayStation, and I'm using it as a subscription service from Sony. Like, I gotta pay a monthly fee in order to use it. If a fan gets dusty, I actually have to take the PlayStation all the way to the repair shop. Like, you can't just open it and dust it yourself. I wonder why people didn't like this, right? So we have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. One by one, all these things became free, so it ended up not making sense for us to own much. Yeah, but like, imagine if I want to travel to the Capitol in order to protest. I don't know, like, the government does some bizarre shit that I don't like. So I want to go there and protest. Right? Now, I don't have a car. How do I go to the Capitol if I don't have a fucking car? Oh, you can take public transport. So do you think the government will allow me to take public transport to go to protest against the government? First communication became digitalized and then free to everyone. This is not even inciting, by the way. Like all of this is already so cheap. I realize that communication is available to everyone when I see homeless people with smartphones. Like, unironically, a couple of months ago, I was walking on the street and I see this homeless person like pull a smartphone that was more expensive than the one that I had. So it's like, okay, well, it's kind of cheap now, right? Like, you can get a smartphone. So what exactly do we are getting for this deal? Like, you're telling that I will own nothing, and in exchange, I already will get the stuff that I have now. Like, I already have food. I already have transportation that's cheap. I already have accommodation. Like, I already have these things. So why is 2030 so great? Like you're not giving me anything in exchange. You're taking everything away. This is what you're writing in this article. Not to mention, like, communication became digitalized. Like, I'm sorry, there are so many things that I can say face-to-face to a person that I can't say online. Like, you meet someone face-to-face, you have free speech. You meet someone online, you don't. In fact, it's the opposite. Like, now, even when you play Minecraft, Microsoft looms in and listens in to what you have to say. Yeah, they won't even let you ride without a mask. Like, if it's your car, you can ride however you want. Right? Like, if it's your car, you can go about your business any way you want. If it's public transport, you have to abide to the rules. You gotta put on a mask. You have to check your pockets to make sure that someone doesn't pickpocket you. But I guess, like, maybe this is one of the advantages, huh? Like, less crime. If everyone is happy in this prison that they're creating, and no one owns anything, then what's the point in pickpocketing someone? Yeah, not to mention, like, if you're a person that's, I mean, I remember, like, during California now, when they had these crackdowns, these lockdowns, right? And there were some people that refused. They said, oh, we're going to cut down their electricity. We're going to cut their power. If we find out that someone has a party in their private homes. You have to observe traffic rules. Yeah, but, like, that's not what we're talking about. Because you're still going to have to observe the traffic rules in the future. Hold on, someone is messaging me saying that they can't give me a super chat because this. No, it's fine. I generally like don't know what's happening. Like I keep getting like those messages. But I see someone already donated, so it's weird. Maybe it's like country region lock or like some people are banned from giving super chats. I have no fucking idea. But I got like this problem 2 streams ago as well. It's very bizarre. Anyway. Do they think the caliphate will just accept this? Probably they will. You gotta understand, like, some people like authoritarianism, like some people are more predisposed to it than others. But this is not like towards the older generation. Like, they know people like me won't accept it. This is tailored for the young generation that lived with safetyism. This is for the generation that lived with the concept of trust and safety and what, right? Like that this is who they're trying to appeal for. They know that people like myself will never accept this type of thing, but they expect us to put up with it. Well, thank you, Rogruna. I appreciate that. Yeah, welcome to your Google car. Can you imagine this? Like you're driving your Google car or your Amazon car, right? And you make a joke. Like you say something funny that they consider to be racismus. And then like your car literally shuts down. And they tell you to get off because you violated their terms of service. And it's not even that. Like from what you can see with Google and a lot of these other companies, you violate the terms of service on one platform and they ban you from everything, right? So like you say a racist joke in your car, and then your car gets stopped, right? And you can't drive it anymore. And when you go to your Google Smart House, you can't enter it anymore. I mean, it's nightmarish. And of course, like the problem is you can't even file, you can't like have a lawsuit where they get to hear your side of the story and you bring your arguments and you're looking at what they have to say. No. So, apparently, according to this, we started transporting ourselves in a much more organized and coordinated way when public transport became easier. What the fuck are they talking about? Do you not see the crime that's happening in the New York subway? Like, are they really this ignorant? I mean, of course they are. I'm willing to bet the person who wrote this article drives a personal car. There's no fucking way they take public transport. So now they're saying that they can hardly believe that we accepted congestions and traffic jams. Again, like I actually did take public transport on my way to high school. I mean, it was so fucking packed. It was ridiculous. Now the thing that they're trying to say is when they're talking about public transport, they're trying to say, well, you know, if you have a car and you personally was to take the public transport tomorrow, you know, wouldn't that be great? But they're not saying it's like you, it's everyone, right? Like they want every single person in a town. So in Romania, 20 million people to use the public transport. Like it's the same volume of people at the end of the day. Like you want all of these people to take the public transport during rush hour. We don't have enough, like I don't think the electricity grid can even support that much. But secondly, like you would need to bolster public transport and you would have the same jams and the same congestions that you have now. It's just like everyone with a car will now have to use the trolley or the bus or whatever. Environmental problems seem far away. No, I don't think the environmental problems will be far away. Like as long as they want net zero, like literally zero carbon, they will only have a reason to complain. And it's not even that, it's like the environmental problems. Like when you talk about something like that, like how often does it affect the life of an average person? Like, I mean, I'm dealing with inflation and with the government problem a lot more than the environment problem. And like, if we can't fix the government problem, I don't think we're going to fix the environmental problem. This also made the breakthrough of the circular economy easier. When products are turned into services, no one has an interest in things with a short lifespan. Everything is designed for durability, repairability, and recyclability. Wasn't this like the case before? And not to mention, like, you want me to believe that corporations are actually going to design things that are durable again just because they offer a subscription? Like, no, I don't think they will. You know what I think they're going to do? It's like, okay, so this is the new refrigerator, and here's the subscription price for it. And then they will be like, okay, we have a new model that came out, and the subscription for it is double. But even that, like let's assume that you have like a subscription base, right? And people aren't interested in buying things that have like short repairability, right? Like people are interested in buying things that last. What is the point for innovation if that's the case? Like if everything is subscription based, right? Like if your washing machine is subscription based, why would they ever make a better washing machine? And you know, like, it doesn't seem that much. It doesn't seem like technology advances. Because when the new iPhone comes up, it's pretty much like the same iPhone, right? Like, it's pretty much like the same one like from last year. But if you're thinking about it, the iPhone that we have now is actually better than the one that came out 6 years before. I remember taking a packed bus in 40 degrees heat in uniform. Took an hour to reach the job and an hour back. Not the type of life that I want anymore. No, they're literally talking about like taking the prison bus. I think even that is actually good because that one has air conditioning. It does sound like Germany in the 1930s, yes. You stream at the weirdest time, my guy. Or maybe I just work late. Either way, I wanted to buy some buyers more. Why, thank you, Nevix Raptor. I appreciate it. I think bus travel will be great since you'll only be allowed to use it when allowed to. Yeah. Anyway, the death of shopping. You know, when you're looking at these things and you're noticing what's happening in California now, it is a little bit interesting that you're wondering, like, are these things allowed to happen or are these things planned to happen? Like when you have laws that are there in order to destroy retail stores, like how can you have a business if you're not allowed to hire a bodyguard to protect you from shoplifters, and if the legislation of the land is actually encouraging shoplifters by making it easy for them? Like for example, if you shoplift less than $1,000 in California, a cop can't chase you, right? So you have like these shoplifting sprees where people know that no security guard is allowed to catch them. They know that, I mean, there were cases where even the store employees tried to catch them, and then the store employee got fired. So like, how can you look at this without saying, yeah, well, I mean, this looks like the death of shopping. Like, it tries to push you to buy online only. Like the idea is to keep you in your house as much as possible. Just don't leave your fucking house. So, shopping, I can't really remember what it is, but for most of us, it has been turned into choosing things to use. Sometimes I find it fun, and sometimes I just want the algorithm to do it for me. I mean, this is the mentality that they want, right? Like, literally no decision-making, no problem-solving, even to the point where when you want to buy a pair of jeans, just let the algorithm decide for you. Like, what the fuck is the purpose of living there? Like, if you can't even make the smallest decision, like to pick what clothes you want, and you need to allow the algorithm to pick it for you. Jesus fucking Christ. Look at this. Look at this shit. Like, it knows my taste better than I do, right? So, I don't want to choose what clothes to wear. I just want the algorithm to do it for you because it knows my taste better than I do. This is fucking disgusting, man. This is... And again, like, you have to assume that the company that runs the algorithm is doing this, with Scout's honor, that the algorithm isn't tinkered, that maybe like one jean company didn't pay it so that it recommends their brand of jeans more. Yeah, they're basically saying you don't have to leave your house. When AI and robots took over so much of our work, we suddenly had time to eat well, sleep well, and spend time with other people. The concept of rush hour makes no sense anymore. This is not true. I mean, we have people on welfare today that don't work. I don't think like they all view this as a positive thing. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm unemployed. I just get government handouts, but you know what? That's kind of cool because I have time to eat well. They live different kinds of life outside the city. Oh, now they're talking about us, chat. For a while, everything was turned into entertainment, and people did not want to bother themselves with difficult issues. It was only the last minute that we found out how to use all these new technologies for better purposes than just killing time. My biggest concern is all the people who do not live in our city. Those we lost on the way. Like, they literally look at us as lost lambs. You know, it's the old generation. Oh, those poor idiots. They do not know how good it is in the prison. We lost them on the way. Those who decided that it became too much, all this technology. Those who felt obsolete and useless when robots and AI took parts of our jobs. Those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. They live different types of lives outside the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities. Others just stayed in the empty and abandoned houses in the small 19th century's villages. This is literally like 1984. Like it describes how the people in the cities are oppressed, and then the people outside, they're not as wealthy, but they're happy. Once in a while, I get annoyed about the fact that I have no real privacy. Like, again, you know, they do not say why is the need for the lack of privacy. Like, all of this shit can be done and you can still have privacy. But at no point do they explain why is the privacy a problem, right? Like, you can still have, like, subscription-based stuff. Like, I mean, even today you get, like, your Netflix. But that doesn't mean that Netflix should spy on you, right? Like, what I love about this article is that at some point, they make people believe that, well, actually, you can't have all of this. You can't protect the environment. You can't, you know, give people free shit unless you also take away their privacy. And this is, like, the interesting aspect. They never justify, like, why privacy needs to be taken to begin with. And, you know, like, the more I'm thinking about it, when you have this article from a person from 2030, like, they're advocating, you know, this is a person from the future, and it's just telling you how life is like. I believe that they would say something like this. I mean, if they have no privacy, and if they say anything different, all of their subscriptions get terminated. And they can't have access to their house, they can't have access to water, they can't have access to food. Then yeah, I would probably say something like this as well. You know, if someone interviewed me, it's like, how is 2030? Oh, it's fucking awesome. It's absolutely amazing. But best shit ever. Like, dude, we own nothing and we're so fucking happy. Like, you got no idea how happy we are. You know, like, it's kind of like interviewing a person from China and asking them about the Tiananmen massacre, and they were like, well, never happened. What are you talking about? No. Thank you for becoming a member back with Libertarian. I expected Jonathan Price to become a member, but unfortunately he did not. Hold on. Apparently, the biggest concern is that all the people who do not live in the city, those who lost on the way, once in a while I get annoyed that I have no real privacy. Nowhere I can go and not be registered. I know that somewhere everything I do, think, and dream is recorded. Listen to this, right? Like, I know that somewhere everything I do, think, and dream of is recorded. I just hope that nobody will use it against me. All in all, is a good life. How can you move from this to say, well, actually, it's a good life? Much better than the path we were on, where it became so clear that we could not continue with the same model of growth. We had all these terrible things happening: lifestyle diseases, climate change, the refugee crisis, environmental degradation, complete congested cities, water pollution, air pollution. So you want me to believe that in 6 years, right? Like in 6 years, we're going to have like we're going to fix, what was it? So in 6 years, we're going to fix the climate. In 6 years, we're going to fix lifestyle diseases. We're going to fix climate change. We're going to fix all of this. And in exchange, we just have to give our privacy to the level of everything that we do, think, and dream is recorded. Yeah, I find it very interesting. But like the thing that I find the funniest is when you say, I just hope that nobody will use it against me. And then you're like, well, life is really great. You know, Dude, like if I had a person that was telling me everything I say is recorded, I would never expect that they would say anything negative about the person recording them ever. Like this sounds like a person from 2030 with a gun to their head, who's actually asked to say the correct things. And it has the article. You got some nerves to do a stream without you? Well, I did realize that if I do it early in the morning, then I have the rest of the day off. Why no D&D? Why must you punish me? Well, D&D is Thursday. Today is Tuesday, so... How much do you want to bet that they're making all your public info, at least for the plebs, much easier to social shame? I mean, I don't even need to think. I just look at China. Like, they already do all of these things in China. And it's not only that, right? So here's how it operates. The communists used to do the system as well. They just didn't have the technology to do it as good. You get a little dossier, right? Like, everything... They do it in corporations as well. But, like, everything that you do which is shameful goes in a little dossier, right? So, for instance, I don't know, you watch hentai, you watch Pornhub, like all of these things that you know are indefensible. They go and they're placed in a file. You say a racist joke, you have like a rant, a tangent with someone, right? They don't use it against you, but it's like stored somewhere on a hard drive. And normally, like if you're just an average person, like you're a plumber, you go to work, you come home, that file never gets used against you. They don't give a shit. Now, you're just a plumber, you're doing your job, like it's fine. But let's say you become a problem, and that could be in multiple ways. You don't like the system, so now you're like an activist. You're a community leader. You want to get a job as a lawyer, but like someone else's son wants to get that job. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, this guy's a problem. Let's look in his file. And they open your file and they see when you said the racist joke, or they see that you used to be a furry, or whatever the fuck, you know? And then they send it to the media, to the press. And the press is like, oh, look, we just unearthed. Because that's how they say, oh, we unearthed this tweet from 12 years ago. Look what he said. I mean, this is how it works, right? Like, normal people aren't going to have to deal with most of this nonsense. But, like, there's no guarantee that you're going to remain normal for long. And what I'm saying is, like, a lot of community leaders and activists, you know, they had normal lives before they realized, oh, they can actually reach millions of people. And once you get to that level, that's when the crackdowns happen. Like, for example, Jordan Peterson, right? Like, Jordan Peterson never viewed himself as able to record himself and have, like, tens of millions of people listening to him. Guilt and shame weaponized, yes. Tell us what the future is like. I will tell you this. It's very difficult to predict the future, especially like 5 years in the future. And the reason that I know this is because you have corporations with big financial interests. And even then, they don't make more than a 5-year plan. Like, you can predict what's going to be next year, and you can maybe make a prediction to what's going to be like 3 years. Already when you start stretching it to 5 years, like, you're going to notice it's very difficult to predict. And after that, you can't. Like, for instance, who would have predicted during the time that the Democrats were crying fascismus, you know, dark, the evil Donald Trump, authoritarian, who would predict that they would be the ones that would lock people in their houses, shut down people's access to go to their personal businesses, take away the bank accounts from truckers? Like, who would think all of those things, right? That you can't sit down at a McDonald's without showing papers, without showing QR code? Who would think that when the Democrats were upset that Kanye West is being anti-Semitic, who would think that is the same people that were now spreading anti-Semitism in universities, that were persecuting Jewish people, that were drawing David stars on Jewish people's homes? Like, who would predict all of these things? The answer, I did predict some of them. Like, you look at woke ideology, it made perfect sense. I saw the Sprite. I like it a lot. Waiting for release. Thank you, American Outlier. I appreciate that. I need to make a sprite with one of your girls though once. It's just like my artists are a little bit occupied right now, but in the future I will. Um, the Women's March had it first, yeah. But my prediction for next year, okay, because it's December. I mean, it's very difficult to say regarding the presidential race in the United States, and this is due to the fact that I don't even know who's going to run for the Democrats. I find it very unlikely that they're going to go with Joe Biden, and if they do go for Joe Biden, then Trump is definitely going to win. But there's also the problem with Trump's lawsuits. I mean, the level of, obviously they're politicized, and some of them may even stick. So it depends. Like if he gets a conviction, it's going to be definitely influencing the result. So it's very hard for me to make a prediction regarding the U.S. Race. It is possible he's going to get Vivek as his vice president. Like a lot of people are saying that, and they're thinking that may be the case. It would be interesting. The reason I'm thinking this is because Vivek isn't trash talking Trump at all, and this usually happens with, like everyone else trash talks him besides Vivek. So it is a possibility that he may be the vice president nominee. As for the Democrats, yeah, I think that Newsom definitely a possibility to run for the Democrats. Michelle Obama is another. That one is a little bit more unlikely though. Like I would rather put my money on Newsom. They also like flirted with the idea that Oprah may be running. I don't think that's the case. As a semi-active furry, I assume everything is being used against me, which is why I just don't care what people think of me on the internet. Well, yeah, but like, you say that, but you don't know like what they will pull up to go against you. I mean, look at Rogan. They went and they searched his chat history for like the last 10 years just to get examples of him saying the N-word. And when you make that clip, when you make that composition, it looks bad, even though he always used the N-word in the context of, oh, let's talk about the news. Like, this person was being canceled because they said this and that. Let's see. Tim Pool and company are simping hard for Vivek. But yeah, I mean, that's why it would be so smart for Trump to get Vivek as his running mate. Vivek has no chance in actually winning against Trump during the primary, but as a vice president, he would definitely be really great, and he would, solidify the MAGA vote, if you will. But like, what would happen in the grand scale of things? Like, let's see. I do expect like the Russian conflict to go into a ceasefire. There's already like talks of peace. And this is due to the Middle East and China situation. Like, the United States probably doesn't want a war on 3 fronts. I mean, officially, they're not at war with Russia, but unofficially, like, there's a lot of money and financial interests involved there. So, yeah, I do think, like, the ceasefire would be something like Russia gets the Donbass area and Ukraine gets to keep its initial border. Probably, like, some guarantees and some assurances. And after that, probably Putin is going to lose power. He's going to either retire or the illness is going to become worse. Like, who knows? But I do have good news for next year. I do think that the economy is going to stabilize. I do think that the inflation isn't going to become any more worse than it is. So it's not going to be as good as it was before 2020, but I do think that you are going to see things stabilizing. So at least it's not going to get worse than now. When it comes to technology, I do think we're going to see the first personal offline AI. Like you're going to have like an AI waifu assistant on your phone or whatever, and you're going to be able to disconnect her from the online world. So you may have like uncensored AI, like something that you can basically use with no censorship, and it doesn't harvest information from you. It's obviously not going to be as good as the latest ChatGPT model or whatever company is going to appear there to take the place of ChatGPT, but it's probably going to be a lot more safe for the user, because like no one is going to spy on you, no one is going to try to harvest data from you. Yeah, I mean, there's already like, because there's like two different ways that the AI is advancing right now. You have the technological way, like the AI to have more capabilities, right? Like ChatGPT 5, for instance, is being discussed, or ChatGPT 4.5, where it's smarter, it's got like more tokens, so not more tokens, it's got like more depth. Right, so there are more parameters, do more things, right? So like that is one of the ways that the AI is going to go up. It's by being smarter and better. But there's another way that the AI is evolving, which is to use less resources. So basically being able to run a ChatGPT 3.5 model on a laptop that's completely offline. So what you say with that with that program is just between you and the laptop. And this is horrifying for most of the people pushing for AI safety. This is horrifying for the government. It's horrifying for corporations. For two reasons. Like, number one, you can't harvest information from a person that does this. And number two, you can't supervise what the AI tells them. So it's not Vivek. It will Elder General Flynn, Carlson, or Ben Carlson. Vivek will be a high rank in the cabinet, in my opinion. Elder will be the United States Attorney General. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West will be over Homeland Security. It's too early to tell, man. It's way too early to tell. A lot of people like keep saying Carlson this, Carlson that. Does Carlson even want to run? Like, do people even wonder? Like, has he ever expressed any type of desire in getting into politics? Because if anything, Tucker Carlson seems absolutely disgusted and horrified by the political establishment, as well as the political system in general. So you will notice that there's a lot of journalists out there, especially on the right, which do not want to run for office under any circumstance, because they know what that means. Like, usually when you run for office, you want a person that's young, unless they're already like an established politician. But if you want like someone to go into politics, you want someone that's young and has like a clean sheet. That doesn't have like years of online content where someone can go through and find out that he said grab him by the pussy or something like that. So I definitely like do not think that Tucker Carlson or Alex Jones is going to run. I will be shocked. No, unironically, like I will be the first to say, you know what, I'm surprised. Wow, Alex Jones is running? Really? That's interesting. But I don't think so. And even if they do run, they don't have a chance at winning. And it would actually be bad for the Republican Party, because it would split the vote. First widespread AI waifu in 2024 or 2025? 2024 definitely. Like you're going to get widespread AI waifus in 2024. It's kind of difficult to predict though, because like theoretically you should have them now. Like right now people should be able to have like AI waifus. The problem though is the fact that credit cards do not allow, and there's like a huge crackdown on anything not safe for work on the internet. And when it comes to chatbots, like for some reason credit cards don't like that. So if you do have like the AI that you can run on your laptop, like that will be the waifu. I think that there's going to be very few people who do not customize their AI to look like an ushikushi anime girl. Yeah, Alex Jones wouldn't have a chance to win. Like I could see Alex Jones like having a chance, like maybe, I don't know, to become mayor in a town if he so wants to. I don't even think he can become governor, to be honest. No. Tucker Carlson could become governor in some places if he wanted to. Oh, I made my predictions and you made yours. Yeah, no, like they're good predictions. But we'll see. I have seen 3 different AI waifus. Yeah, but it was like a mainstream one, like something that most people will buy. And so far, I just don't see people using something that's bad. Like in order to be mainstream, it has to be good quality. Like character AI used to be when it came out. Can't you run Llama? You've got a beefy GPU. Yeah, you can. But like I was talking about a laptop. Like just because I can run it on my computer doesn't mean that most people can run it on theirs. Regarding video games, like let's see, what is going to come next year? Do you guys think like we're going to get Winds of Winter coming next year? Probably not. Like probably not. Like every year, every new year, I'm like, oh, this may be the year where Winds of Winter comes out. But I'm always disappointed, chat. I'm actually thinking like there's probably no video game that I'm hyped about. Like that's quite rare. Usually there were like some video games that I would say, yeah, like next year, you know, like I guess like a new Resident Evil title, but there's the Alone in the Dark video game. Looks kind of good. Elder Scrolls, I don't give a fuck. No, I don't think it's going to be a good game. I mean, it's Bethesda. Bethesda has been completely woke. They fired all their competent people and they hired incompetent ones. Elder Scroll may be good depending like how long it took until the diversity firings became a thing. Like it's the same like Baldur's Gate. Like Baldur's Gate is good because it was made by competent people in the beginning before they fired them and they hired the woke crowd. So it's going to be the same with Elder Scrolls. Like depends like how long did competent people worked on it. Take into account you're as good as your last game that you released, and Bethesda released like that horrible Fallout 76, and they released that horrible Star Citizen game. So I don't expect good things from them in the future. GTA 6. GTA 6 is going to be game of the year regardless. I do expect like some cringe parts in the story, bigoted sandwiches level, but overall it should be like a good game. The thing is, like, even if it comes and it's a buggy mess and it doesn't play, like, everyone is going to talk about it. Everyone is going to try to attach his channel to GTA in some way or form. So, I already see right-wingers complaining about the sexuality in GTA. I already seen left-wing people complaining about sexism in GTA. Personally, like, I don't think it's going to be a great story. And this is due to the fact that Rockstar itself came out and said that they're not going to be punching down, and it used to be that they make fun of everyone, but now they won't. And in the remakes of GTA, you can already see that they censored all the trans people and all the hookers and stuff, and it's like, okay, so it's going to be like that, is it? Yeah, so hopefully we will get like some gameplay that looks great in the beginning, but then it gets boring later on, kind of like Red Dead Redemption. And I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to be entertaining somewhat, but I don't expect it to be mind-blowing for me. Hopefully I'm wrong, though. Hopefully it's going to be a good game. What else do we have next year? Movies. Man, there's not a single movie that I want to see. Not a single thing that I'm being hyped. You know, like last year I was like, oh, the new Avatar might be good. Yeah, I don't think I want to see the new Avatar now. I'm no. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai might actually be great. I think it's the last season. That one is going to be good. Think prostitutes and children will be invincible in GTA? I don't think you will have prostitutes and children. I mean, maybe you'll have prostitutes because I saw like a stripper club. They won't be invincible. But you're definitely not going to have kids. I don't think like you ever had kids in GTA, so that's fine. Oh yeah. Dune 2. Dune 2 is actually a good one. Yeah. So the regarding movies, Dune 2, I'm excited to see that. Godzilla, yeah, Godzilla is also like I heard good things about it. But Godzilla came out this year, didn't it? So it doesn't count. You won't be able to pull out guns in the club. I didn't think about that, but I did see a video that freaked out Twitter, and I don't know why, because you could do this in all the other GTAs. Like someone went into a hospital in GTA 5, and it's sorry in the new GTA, they went in a hospital and they started shooting patients. And people were freaked out about it. And I'm like, why? It's GTA. Like, you can always do that. I think, like, even in GTA 4, you could just walk into a store and start shooting people. Like, that's not something that is only available now, right? The thing is, like, they will make the argument that it's harmful, right? It's harmful because people see it in fiction and they will reproduce it in real life. Which is literally the argument you make for children, like people without developed brains. And it's true. Yeah, like if a kid sees that, Tom drops like a flower pot from the balcony and it hits Jerry in the head, they may try to reproduce that in real life because they don't understand the consequences. Like they don't know what brain trauma is. Like they saw it in a cartoon, so they think it's going to have the same effects in real life. But that's for children, people without developed brains. Like we have an ESRB rating for that. So if you have like in a video game where someone can walk into a store and shoot people, why would you assume that adults shouldn't be able to play that? Why would you assume that adults are like children? And when it comes to GTA, I mean, GTA 4 was already out. Like, how many people committed crimes because of it? And is it a significant number to justify of the law-abiding citizens to not be able to play that game either? I never felt the need to run into a painted tunnel after watching Roadrunner. Let me see, like, if there was something from a cartoon that I tried to replicate. Oh, I did. Putting a firecracker underneath a glass. Like, I saw that in cartoons and I thought it looks cool and it makes, like, really nice noise. Yeah, I tried that. It broke the glass. I was actually lucky that I didn't injure myself. But basically, like, you can... Like, there are certain things that you can see in cartoons that kids will try to replicate, right? Like, most kids understand that painting on a wall a tunnel, that doesn't mean you can walk through the tunnel. But then you can see other things. It's like, oh, look, they put like a glass over a firecracker and it went bang and the glass is fine. And you tried that in the real world and you realize, oh, well, actually, hold on. There are people who drove into a painted tunnel real life with their car. Okay, well, I don't think like they genuinely thought that it's going, like maybe they didn't realize that it's painted. I don't fucking know. I would have to look into that to see what's going on. Maybe they were high on stuff. Like, if you're under the influence of narcotics, then, well, I don't blame the cartoon. I blame the narcotics. Kids who try to replicate cartoons need to learn the hard way. Yeah, it's pretty much like, where are the parents? Like, do these mythological creatures called parents even exist anymore? Like, my fucking god, this new ideology of safety is annoying me. Like, I'm not a kid. I should be able to do all the things that I did in the 90s. Alright, we do have Stalker 2. We also have, like, Girl Quest Monster, something like that. I see a lot of people excited. I don't know what that video game is about, but it's very excited for some people. Part 3, apparently. That one, maybe. Is that one going to come out before The Winds of Winter? The Adventures of Luca and Alice? Are they going to come out before or after Winds of Winter? George R.R. Martin, pull your shit together. Release the fucking book. At this point, like, I wonder, like, if it's even going to have any sales. Because George R.R. Martin is definitely a controversial figure. After the amount of shit he gave towards the fans, number one. Number two, the political takes which he had. And of course, number three, his entire book has been spoiled. So, you know about Hold the Door, you know about Danny being evil, like, all of those things are now expected, so. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come either. Anime games? There was like that game which was like near, like you're playing like this hot robot waifu, but then the Chinese bought it and they're nerfing down the sexuality, which is like literally what made the game interesting to begin with. Bethesda decided again contracting Obsidian, which may be their downfall. Fallout 5 might end the franchise. I actually would like a Fallout 5 that's top-down RPG like the previous ones used to be, you know? Anyway, right. I think this is it. It was a nice early morning stream. Hopefully you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys on my main channel. I'm gonna upload videos there. So take care. And hopefully you guys will have a nice day.